Now, chemical coordination and integration. You all know that we have a neural system which provides point to point rapid coordination among the organs, but it is short lived, and the nerve fibers do not innervate all these cells. So, how the cellular functions can be regulated? It is by the endocrine glands which release the hormones. No, they release the hormones just in the blood. They do not have any duct, therefore it is known as ductless gland. And those hormones, those chemicals, they affect only the target organs. Now, along with the nervous system and the endocrine system, our body, all the physiological functions in the body can be regulated. So, let's see the chemical coordination and integration, which is by the endocrine gland, which is known as the ductless gland. The endocrine gland, it releases hormones. So these hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. They are not nutrient, and they carry out intercellular messages. Therefore, they are intercellular messengers, and they are present only in trace amount, very little amount. You don't require much of the hormones. Now, in the small animals, the invertebrates, very few hormones are present. But in vertebrates, in higher organisms, the endocrine system is well developed. In humans, the endocrine system is quite developed. You can see now here hypothalamus is the part of the brain. Attached to the forebrain is the pineal gland. Below the hypothalamus is the pituitary gland. In the neck is the thyroid and parathyroid gland. Then below is the thymus. Attached to the digestive system is pancreas. Above the kidney is the adrenal gland. Now, in female, there are ovaries present which are endocrine in nature. In males, it is testes present which secretes the hormone. Now, along with this endocrine system, there are hormones which are produced by different organs, like the gastrointestinal tract releases small amount of hormone, liver produces hormone, kidney produces hormone, heart also produces hormone. So this forms the endocrine system. We'll be studying this in detail, each gland, what it produces and how it is going to affect our physiological system. Now let's study pituitary gland, which is the most important gland. It is the master gland because it controls other glands. Pituitary gland. It is present in the bony cavity, which is known as sella turcica. With a stalk, it is attached to the hypothalamus. Now, anatomically, it is divided into anterior and posterior. Now, anterior is known as adenohypophysis and posterior is known as neurohypophysis. Now, this anterior adenohypophysis is divided into two, that is pars distalis and pars intermedia. The posterior part neurohypophysis is pars nervosa. Now here this pars distalis, which is the anterior part, Now, pars intermedia in humans, it is almost attached to pars distalis. Now, let's see what are the hormones which are released, secreted from this region, anterior pituitary gland, pars distalis. Growth hormone utilized for growing. If it is less, then there is stunted growth. If it is more, then you become a giant. So gigantism or dwarfism. So here it has to be balanced, and in adult, if the growth hormone is more, it leads to a disease which is acromegaly. The structure of the face get disrupted and it might lead to death sometimes. Now, here prolactin. Prolactin is the hormone which is secreted for the development of the breast, for the secretion of the milk for the baby. So that is the function of prolactin. Now, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, it stimulates the thyroid which is present in the neck region. It helps in metabolism. Now, adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, it stimulates the adrenal cortex which is present over the kidney to release a steroid hormone which is glucocorticoid. It is released from the adrenal cortex. It helps in metabolism of glucose. So now there is gonadotropin hormones. Naturally, by the name, it helps for the development of the gonads. Now there are two types of gonadotropin. One is luteinizing hormone and FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone. Now this luteinizing hormone helps to release androgen, and this follicle stimulating hormone, they together help in spermatogenesis, that producing the sperms. So this is gonadotropin hormone. Now same hormone, luteinizing hormone in females, it helps in release of ovulation of the matured graphical follicles. So luteinizing hormones, they help in ovulation of the matured graphical follicles, and this FSH in females, they help the development of Graafian follicles. So these follicles are developed by FSH. Now this luteinizing hormone also helps to maintain the corpus luteum which is formed after the ovulation to the remnant of Graafian follicles. So this corpus luteum is maintained by luteinizing hormone. Now these are the hormones which are released by pars distalis adenohypophysis, which is the anterior region of the pituitary gland. Now attached to this anterior region, this is the anterior region pars intermedia, which is attached to this pars distalis, releases MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. Now these melanocytes are the cells which will release melanin, which are the coloring substance, which are stimulated to release the coloring substance and maintain the color of our body, that is pigmentation. So our color depends upon the amount of melanin which is present in our skin. Now posterior region neurohypophysis, it is under the control of hypothalamus. Secretion is done by the hypothalamus and it is released here in pars nervosa, and there are two hormones which are released, vasopressin and oxytocin. Now what does vasopressin does? It helps to maintain the water and the electrolyte in the urine in the with the help of the distal tubule present in the kidney. It helps to stop the diuresis, that is not to release the excess amount of urine. So this is the function of vasopressin. It is also known as antidiuretic hormone. Now sometimes due to some reason this ADH is not normal, there will be release of excess amount of urine and it will lead to diabetes insipidus. And that has nothing to do with the hormone. Now hormone of diabetes, it has to do with the hormone of ADH, that is vasopressin. Now this oxytocin is the hormone which helps the contraction and relaxation of the smooth muscles. So it helps during parturition for the baby to come out of the mother. So it is released in excess amount, in large amount, so that the contraction of the muscle takes place and the baby is out. So this is how pituitary gland helps us to maintain our endocrine system. Gland. Now it is a small gland which is attached to the forebrain. Here you can see it is attached to the forebrain, dorsal side of the forebrain. Now what it does, it releases the hormone melatonin. It releases the hormone melatonin which helps us to regulate our circadian cycle, our sleep and wake cycle. We sleep and wake up. That is controlled by the hormone which is melatonin. So it regulates the 24 hours diurnal rhythm of our body, sleep wake cycle. It regulates the body temperature. It regulates the metabolism of our body. And it regulates the pigmentation, that is the color which we have, that is due to the pigment, and that pigment is regulated by this melatonin. It also regulates the menstrual cycle in the females, and it helps us to develop our defense capability. It develops our cells to fight the organism which attacks us. So our defense capability is developed by this hormone.